Transforming equals healing. Room Redux is a nonprofit organization that focuses on transforming the rooms of children who have faced sexual or physical abuse, founded by our good friend, Susie Vybiral, and she is with us today. Let me tell you a little bit about Room Redux. Believes that room transformation can be a powerful tool to foster healing, as many times abuse occurs in the child's room or bed, making the room itself feel unsafe. And as a result, kids may stop sleeping, start acting out, or may become depressed, avoiding the room entirely. But through donations and grants by you warriors, you got to step up. We're going into the holiday season. Susie is here to not only visit us today, but she has a very important story to share with you of something that happened recently. Room Redux fully transforms the kids, the children's rooms, so they'll feel comfortable, happy, safe. A new room equals a new start. And that, Susie, that's directly from your website. I took that. And we know, I'm just going to share this, Susie, before we jump in. You know, you were recently robbed. I can hardly say that. And robbed of all your goods for children to transform these rooms. Not only the goods for the rooms, the pillows, whatever else, pictures, lamps, rugs, whatever was in the warehouse, whatever. But you know what? Of tools that Susie and Room Redux and the team uses to help transform these rooms. So we're going to help Room Redux get back on their feet. You warriors are going to step up and help here. The website and all of the information will be in the body of the video, roomredux.org. That is ROOMREDUX.org. In case you're going to cheat, listen to us and go on the website at the same time. So Susie, dear friend, welcome back to the Warriors.
Thank you, Lynn. Thanks for having me and for being Room Redux.
You know what? I got to jump right in. Okay, before I jump right in, give us the mission of Room Redux. Tell us a little bit about it for those warriors who don't know about it, but they will. Mission, why you started it, and you know what's happening in that child's life, perhaps whatever you want to talk about with the mission.
Okay. So the nutshell is, just like you said, we transform the rooms and lives of children who have faced sexual and physical abuse. We do this anonymously, which means the children never see us, and we do this in one day. We get our referrals from counselors, psychologists, CPS, law enforcement, FBI. This way we know that the child or the children are in counseling for the trauma, or they've been through counseling for that trauma, crucial part of that healing puzzle. And then also we're able to talk to the counselors and find out what type of therapeutic tools they're being used in therapy, so that we can put them in their rooms so that they feel safe. They have these coping mechanisms. They have their little arsenal of what they can take out if they're starting to feel scared. Maybe it's art supplies or music, lights, lots and lots of lighting, punching bags, things like that. We want to make sure that they feel safe in their room. And what's happening with these children who have been abused, whether it's in the room that they're in now or not, they don't sleep in their room. They don't want to be in there. They're afraid to be alone. They're afraid of the dark. They're putting a pallet on mom and dad's floor or grandma's floor, wherever, sleeping on the couch because they do not want to be in there. They don't have self-worth. They don't have pride. They don't feel comfortable in their own bodies. They're self-harming, all of these different things. And the way I really, truly found out about that was when I was a family advocate at an advocacy center. And I found out I would talk to these parents and caregivers weekly, daily, and they would tell me, she's talking in counseling, but she's not doing that great, or he's still making bad grades. She's still cutting, all of these horrible things. And I really thought, well, my goodness, it's the environment. They're going back to a room where they don't feel safe. They don't feel comfortable. But even if it happened somewhere else, it happened in grandpa's house or in a car, they still deserve to know they're loved and cared about by people who don't even know them and who expect nothing from them. We want them, on a big picture, we want to change the trajectory of their lives, but we want them to not look at the world like it's such a scary place and everybody is out to get you. That they're actually people who are advocates, who are warriors for these children.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful message. You know, I know you have different chapters around the United States. Tell us a little bit about that and how one can start creating that, because we need to have Room Redux. I don't know, every town, city, and rural area across America, right? I mean, the need is there, unfortunately, like that need, but this safe environment, Susie. It's exactly what the kids need. Just that little safe space, where they put their head on the pillow. But tell us about the chapters. What do you have going on with that?
Well, we are volunteer based. And so it takes someone or someones who have a true heart to help children who really want to make a difference in their lives, because that's our aim. That's what we are doing. That's the feedback that we get. But every time we start a new chapter in a different state, we file as a foreign entity. Headquarters is in Texas, and we file as a foreign entity, and then you get started with your chapter. So let's say you want to start a chapter in New York. You can have a co-director. You can have somebody help you. You can have an advisory council. We have one board of directors, but you can have your own advisory board where someone's doing social media, someone is designing or going to assess the room, things like that. I think the more people that are pulled in together as a warrior type team, the better it turns out. So when you have people who are invested and want to help raise funds and help make these room transformations a reality, it takes all of us, which is why we say we are Room Redux. But if someone wants to start a chapter out there, contact me, Susie at roomredux.org. Just reach out, call me, and we'll get you.
We're going to have it all in the body of the video, because we're going to 2025, Susie, we're going to explode. The whole country's going to be We Are Room Redux. We need to do that. Let me ask you now. Let us go in to the most horrible thing I woke up to one day. Or it was the middle of the night. I don't know. I saw some like posting on LinkedIn or something. I think it was the middle of the night I read it. I don't know when you post about somebody robbed you. Who would do that? Obviously, they may not even know your Room Redux. I don't know. We don't know anything, right? But fill us in about what happened and what's going on now. The floor is yours, because I can barely talk about this because it's just so not right,
It's still very surreal to me that anybody would do that. Where we live in Texas, it's New Braunfels, Texas, where I live, and our street is one way in, one way out. And we've lived here for 15 years. So we have some land, and our Room Redux buildings are, as the crow flies, just right over there. I can't see them through the woods, but they're right over there. And we have locks on the doors. We have no trespassing signs. We did not have cameras, nonprofit. We just didn't yet, but now we do. But I had gone for a run last Wednesday, and I noticed that there were some things, or Wednesday before, I noticed that there were some things out on the ground, out of the dumpster. Every now and then we'll run a dumpster just to get rid of some stuff that we need to get rid of. And there were things, heavy things that raccoons couldn't get out of the dumpster. And I thought, what in the world? And so I walked over there, and there was a table on the ground, and trash. There were cups, as if somebody had been drinking out there. And essentially someone trespassed and then stole things out of the dumpster. So we called the sheriff. He came out, took a report. And the next day I had meetings all day. So I wasn't here, but our executive director for Room Redux Central Texas came out to the warehouse because she was getting everything together. We had 3 room transformations for 2 little girls, a bedroom and 2 bathrooms 3 days later. And she went out to the warehouse, and she called me and she said, Susie, they came in the warehouse. And we had looked in the warehouse. We looked in all of the offices. They came back. They came back the next night and brought their beers and drank beer out there on our property, went into the warehouse. They stole tools. They stole an armoire. And I remember this particular armoire because the day before I noticed the door was open on the armoire, and I remember shutting it. And so the next day that was gone. Shoes, which we don't even, they were donations that we were going to give to our local thrift store for the crisis center, gone. Bedding, decor, tables, furniture, but all of those tools, everything that we needed for the room transformation 3 days later, we got a couple of donations. Thank you very much. And we were able to recoup that, but we still had to go to the hardware store because it's hard to remember everything that we had: picture hanging kits, hammers, screwdrivers, nails, all of those things. But called the sheriff again, and he came out and took the case down. And I remember thinking, my goodness, there are beer cans. There's DNA on this. They didn't take that, which I'm not sure why, but immediately we put cameras up. And I remember getting home from my meetings, and I pulled up, jumped out of my truck, and I walked around, and I cried because it was the most heartbreaking, disheartening, unsettling feeling to be invaded like that. Who
Right.
are these people? How many were there? Why would they do this? I would say maybe they didn't know it was Room Redux. We do have our logo out front. It's on a rock, but it's out there. And on our buildings, because children have to be 12 and over to come transform a room for safety reasons, insurance reasons, we'll have groups of children come out, and I just let them paint the buildings. We have 2 warehouses, so just paint whatever you want. And so there's children's drawings all over the buildings, butterflies and rocket ships and all of these kind of things. And when you go in the warehouse, you see children's furniture, books, toys, things for children. So I can't imagine that they wouldn't know that they were stealing from children, but that's exactly what they did. They stole from children who deserve a fresh start because they've been sexually or physically abused. It's unfathomable.
Yeah. Let me put my little inspector cap on here. So obviously they had to have a truck. They're stealing
Yes.
like,
Yes.
and more than one person, I would imagine, because multiple beer cans.
Right.
I'm not a detective. I just play one here on the Warriors. But obviously these things take time to like steal all this stuff, right? They probably came in the middle of the night, I
Yes.
guess, right? And wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
okay, let me gather myself. So Warriors, you heard about this. I am here to attest to Susie's work, Room Redux, all of their chapters, doing something for children. Susie, nobody else is doing this that I really know about for kids, and this is giving them back something, because as we both know, a child who's traumatized like this, it really is a lifelong trauma. Let's face it, right? That's kind of the reality. So giving them a piece of something that's theirs, that's new, that's fresh. And like you said, Susie, somebody cares about them,
Right.
right? Somebody gave them something that doesn't even really know them,
Right.
something for free. That could be the life-changing thing that keeps them on the track. It's a very slim line. They can go one way or the other, basically, to just help empower them to keep going. They can do it. They're worth something.
Exactly.
Where does the case stand now? Is it just done? There's like a police report? I mean, you can report whatever you want about this. I mean, I'm angry because now I didn't even think about it. Obviously, there's children's things. They're going to say, oh, this is for children. Children's paintings on the outside. Oh, this is something with kids. And to steal like this from children, even if they don't know it's like Room Redux, they don't know the mission, they don't know anything. It's obviously kids.
For
So
kids.
where does it stand anywhere now, or it's just kind of done and we got to regroup here?
It's in limbo. We're working to regroup. We're making a list of what was stolen, what's missing. But every time I think I'm done, we realize, oh, that's gone. That we had this sitting here, and that's gone.
Right.
So the list, it's been a chore to create because it just keeps happening. And it's interesting because people asked, well, are you still going to have the room transformations, the 1 bedroom and 2 bathrooms for the a 9-year-old and a 2-year-old little girl? Because the room transformations were that Saturday, and this happened Tuesday and Wednesday. And I said, absolutely. We're like
For sure.
The Who's in Whoville. You can take all our stuff, you can do whatever, but we're still going to transform these children's lives. That absolutely, that is a no-brainer. That's going to happen. But I will say, along with the tools, and I mean, big old, I always forget what they're called, pack-ups, pack-goes. They look like suitcases, and they're full of tools and picture hanging stuff and nails, batteries, all that kind of stuff. Those were gone. So all of that was gone. But that armoire, I think it almost makes me the maddest, because very often when we go into a child's room, sexual abuse has happened in the closet. They close the door, it's dark, nobody sees in, don't know what's happening. And so there have been times when we transform a closet, just knock it down, take off the door, whatever we have to do, make it a music nook or a little reading area. And then we put an armoire on the other side of the room and make that the child's closet. And so that was one of the most irritating, infuriating things. It seemed such a tangible, we took this from
Yeah.
each.
Okay, so let's talk about, because we're on a mission today, Susie. I make no bones about it. What's your wish list right now? Obviously, financial donations are always good, but
Yeah.
also we have to think about lots of people have companies or affiliations or associations with, whether it's furniture, whether it's hardware, whether it's, Home Depots. I don't know. Tell us about, seriously, what you need. What's your dream? You tell us what you need, because we need to get you these things.
Thank you. Thank you. I've thought about that. And at first, fresh off of all this, people were wanting to donate. I've got this, I can bring it to you. And I was so hesitant. I feel so hesitant about putting anything else in the warehouse, because I think, oh my gosh, what if they come back? But then again, I hope they do come back, because then I can call 911 when I'm alerted, because we have cameras now. But I think, yes, financial donations, tool donations, Home Depot, big box, Lowe's, things like that, gift cards, that would be super helpful. We have our annual gala coming up on November 16th. It's in San Antonio, 12 days from now. So I keep telling everyone, we're really in dire need of people to come have fun, attend. A night of whimsy is what it's called, but also to sponsor tables. We need table sponsorships. We need, it's mainly financial right now to try to regroup, figure out, we don't have a huge insurance coverage on that. It's about $5,000, beats a blank, but it's starting to really add up. It's definitely more than what we're going to get back.
I mean, no, but things are so expensive right now, just in general anyway. And to outfit one room, if you think about mattresses, sheets, pillows, it really adds up, kind of thing. I don't know. Okay, we'll have all the links, and certainly like with your gala and all of that. Give us some. I'm really taken aback by this.
Yeah.
I'm really, just because anything with children, again, I don't care. They didn't know even it was Room Redux, even though it says it outside. You pointed out earlier, but like on the rock or something like that. But, obviously they were there a long time, having a real good time. They had time to drink beer and steal the armoire. I mean, they were just doing whatever they were doing, and they have to be caught. I have a feeling, though, actually. I have a feeling you're going to get caught. I actually do. I actually do. And I'm really glad now that you have cameras and you'll be alerted. And just don't take it into your own hands. Call that. Call that not. No, because imagine if you seriously, if you stumbled upon them, perhaps, if you went out there, I don't know, 2 a.m, whatever the case may be, who knows, right?
Right.
So,
and because we don't know who or what type of people, we have zero idea on that. And so that first night, I will say, we had the camera installed, but I still did not sleep. I knew that the camera, if there was motion detected, if there were a person or there was motion, like a truck pulled up, my phone's going to alert me. But I did not sleep until 6:30 that next morning, when I knew the sun was coming up. I just couldn't. Of course, all I saw was raccoons and deer and wild pigs, things like that. But
you got wild pigs there?
Yeah. The one thing I don't want to see, the one thing I don't like, the only thing in the world that I'm scared of, they're here. I always like to pretend like they're not, but I saw on the camera. But that night, but that night, as it was getting dark, I was still out at the warehouses and the offices. And I remember I was on the phone with my brother, and he said, "Suze, you need to go back home." And it's just right through the woods. It's close, but still it was getting dark. And I remember thinking, I don't want to. I want to sit out here and I want to see if they come back, because I have a feeling they are. But then I thought, what am I going to do? What can I do? I don't know if they're on drugs. I don't know if they came across the border and they're violent. I don't know if they're somebody who works for somebody nearby. I don't know. I don't know the situation. So I went home and didn't sleep and watched the camera all night.
Well, you know what? It's such a violation.
It is
that violation of course you didn't sleep. What can I say to that? I mean, Really. And I know you're on some local news there. So I think, how about getting on some more local news? Because I think that's important. We have to keep raising awareness about this. Finish us up with some final words. I'm glad your gala's coming up. I think that's going to be helpful. You've got the cameras now in place. We're going to work on some business partnerships to
Yes.
get you some goods. Geez, I mean, you got to get your tools. There's got to be even a mom and pop hardware store. Somebody's going to give you, because people are innately, Susie, good, right? We just have to get to them and
Right.
present the case. And this is certainly a case that really warrants attention and goodness. And people really are good. They just say a lot to me. How can I help? How can I help? So we've got to direct our attention towards this. Do you have rooms lined up that you have to get ready in the coming up months? What do you have going on?
Yep, we do. Just in this area, even Central Texas. I know that I believe Denver has something coming up. I know Georgia does. So different chapters have things coming up, and they're, like I said, they're all over the country. But yeah, I feel like if we had those types of partnerships like you're talking about,
Yeah.
then we wouldn't have to worry about getting those things, because when we go into a child's room, we're painting. Often painting. So we need all those painting supplies, which includes drop cloths and
Yeah.
paint,
Brushes are expensive.
rollers, all of that. Yes. And then sometimes we have to repair stuff. So sheetrock or holes in the wall, things like that. But we're hanging pictures. We're putting new light fixtures in. We're putting furniture together all in one day. And by the way, we did do those 3-room transformations. And I, I wish I could figure out how to send you the reaction of the 9-year-old
Yeah, I
little.
want I wanted to ask you about that. So you never meet the child, so there's no interaction. You go in a day, you redo everything, which
Mhm.
I still find amazing. You do it all in a day because, I always find Susie they make it look so easy, like on HGTV or something. But it's really hard when sometimes you go in a room and then maybe you find something you didn't think was there. You have to replace, like you said, sheetrock. You're trying to put up a chandelier or a light fixture or something, and something falls from the ceiling. It's actually a lot of work. Usually more than anticipated. Now, what happens? Somebody films, like the parent or caretaker, a video for you of the child's reaction. How do you see that?
Yes. So a lot of times the parents or caregivers will take pictures, or they will record the child when they first see the room. And then they'll send it to me, or they'll send it to the executive director of the chapter. But obviously, we never share it. We don't put it out there.
Mm.
But to be able to see that and hear, I'm telling you, Saturday after we did those 3-room transformations, and trust me, I was a bundle of emotions between anger and dismay and fear and joy and elation and knowing we're transforming a child's life, but we're just robbed. I bawled. I cried and cried and cried watching this video, because this little girl, 9 years old, screams at the top of her lungs, high voice, and she's, Mommy, why did they do this? Like, they did this for me. And one of the best things was sexual abuse had happened in the downstairs bathroom. And that night, her mom wrote and said she ran into the living room with her toothbrush and said, Mommy, I'm going to brush my teeth downstairs, because we completely transformed that room so that it didn't look like what it did when she was abused there. We put down new flooring, we painted, we put a new shower curtain, new decor, all the things. And so even though I was feeling dismay and feeling disheartened and all of
No,
these
but
things,
that's it. That's it, Susie.
that's why we do this.
That's just it. Do the kids ask? I mean, obviously, we can't share videos and children and minors and all that. Do they ask, like, the parents or caregivers, or do they say, like, who did this for me? Or, like, why do they do this for me? Do the parents explain? Do the mothers explain or anything? Or is it just kind of like, we're giving you a gift? Do you leave it? How is that done? Because I, as a 9-year-old, would be like saying, who did this for me? Where did
Yeah.
it come from?
it's
I'd
it's
want some answers.
right. You would, of course you would.
Yes.
It's both. And because we tell the parents and caregivers, you tell them whatever you want. Maybe
Okay.
this helps repair a damaged relationship between teenage girl and mom, that maybe the girl feels like mom didn't protect her, or whatever the situation is. Or maybe it's kinship and they've been placed with a family or grandma or their aunt, and they don't feel like they belong there. That can help solidify, yes, we love you and we want you to be here. But then other families, they do tell them. They say, Room Redux did this. A group of people that you don't even know came and it always makes me cry. They came and did this because they care about
Oh,
you and they care about us and they wanted you to be happy and feel safe. Actually, one more thing. For our gala, the person that is going to speak at our gala is one of the room transformation recipients. Now,
no.
she was 12 when we transformed her room. Is the Blossom Room. We name every room transformation, and hers was the Blossom Room transformation. And she wasn't there that weekend because she had been self-harming so bad. She was in a hospital. Fast forward to now, she's 17, and I had asked her mom, I asked her mother to speak at our gala, and she said, of course. I mean, they come to room transformations and help volunteer now. They buy things off our
Mm.
Amazon registries for room transformations. They're amazing. But she wrote me later and she said, actually, my daughter wants to speak. And my first thought was, no, because we never see the children. I don't want to put her out there. I don't want to exploit or further exploit. But the little girl, well, she's 17 now. She said, no, it'll empower me. I want to tell my story.
Yes.
I want to tell how Room Redux helped me. So that's huge. That is,
That's going to be because, look, you can, let's be honest, you could talk to your blue in the face, but actually coming
yeah,
from a child, now teen, now young woman, that will resonate. They'll all be crying in that room, Susie.
I'm so proud of
It,
her.
and that'll, and the fact she wants to do this and she says it will empower her
Yes.
is, that's all you got to think about. That makes you
You
a
know,
warrior.
can't say no to that.
No, I mean that's why you're a warrior, and that's why we love you so much. And we only wish you the best. And again, warriors out there, you're going to get all this information about Susie and Room Redux in the body of the video. I am instructing all of you. Whatever you can do, there's always something you can do. You can start a chapter. You can go on. So you're on Amazon. You've got the registry there. You've got
Each chapter, when they have a room transformation coming up and they've picked the design, it's about $2,500 to transform a room, and not including a lot of stuff, but we'll put stuff on the registry that is going to go into the room. So you can purchase some stuff that goes into that room, which is cool.
okay,
No
because
matter what.
no, that's great since the world is on Amazon these days.
Right.
That also we'll have donations. We'll put Susie's direct email. So if you have any questions, you can contact her. But we really appeal to you. And I'll be doing more work on my end, the warriors for this, that we have some business partnerships. I really think, Susie, in 2024, almost 2025 now, we live in this different environment, and I really believe everybody needs to do something.
Yes.
So whatever you may be able to just volunteer. It's not always about $1. You may be able to volunteer with a chapter. You may be able something. I know everybody can help with something, and that is the goal, and that is our mission. Our hashtag is community creates change. And I am telling everybody listening, if there's one thing you do, I'm urging all of you, roomredux.org.
Yeah.
Susie, you're the best.
You're the best, Lynn. And I appreciate what you're saying to all the warriors, because I know we all have this heart to help and create change. Like you're saying, community creates change. And we have this compassion, but you can quote me on this. This is what I say. We can talk about it all day long. We can talk about it. Awareness. Great. Awareness is good. Please spread on social media, follow us, all those things. But compassion plus action equals results. That's how we're going to create change.
You got me started on something. I'm just going to say it, Susie. We know things are bad, right? We know people are overwhelmed. We know money's tight. We know human trafficking, sexual abuse, exploitation, digital, everything going on in the internet. We all know, not when I say all, people have a general idea. They may not know what you know, I know. Enough of this. It's about not slapping that Band-Aid, which we have to do a lot. It's about intervening. It's about prevention. It's about taking action, walking the walk, because that's where we're headed, Susie. I'm tired of, we all know these things are bad, right? Sexual abuse. If you know nothing about it, you know it's bad. Like you just know.
Yeah.
So let us change culture. Let us change thinking. Let us, first of all, open and honestly talk about things. It starts with that. But let us all figure out a way to help, right? Maybe somebody's a counselor or something and can even offer services directed your way. I don't know. I just know there's a lot that everybody can do. Wonderful. We have people. Oh, actually, I just thought of something. Art is wonderful therapy. Music is wonderful therapy. We have different things. We have to create. You have to. I don't like this saying, but I'll say it. We have to think outside of the box. Like everything's new and different, and it's not the old way. When people just say to me, "It used to be this way when I was a kid." I'm against that, Susie. Forget that. It's done. It's over. Whatever that was. It's this whole new thing, and it's fine because it's the way it is. We don't have any alternative, but let us work within that and create and really honor that hashtag community creates change. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to be rooting for you, Susie. We're going to be helping you. I just got some ideas as we're talking. I'm going to implement. And we just love you to pieces for doing this on behalf of the children and their parents or their caregivers, whoever they're living with, and actually doing something to change lives. Because I'm here to say it's few and far between who actually do something to change lives. So we love you so much, Susie Vybiral. You are a true warrior. Roomredux.org. You're the best. Let us speak again soon. Don't be a stranger.
Let's do it. Love you.
I love you more. Have a good day. Thanks, Susie. We'll talk soon.
Thanks. Bye.